What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like at least the bulk of our free agency stuff is coming to an end. Yes, we still need to sign Josh Giddey. There is a big question about Jonathan Kuminga. Two of the videos I spoke about previously, so feel free to check it out if you want to hear my opinions on those things. But today, ladies and gentlemen, assuming that we do get stuff done in that department, at least with Josh Giddey, I can't say if we're going to sign Jonathan Kuminga. I feel like no one truly knows the answer to that. I want to discuss where I feel like the Chicago Bulls could finish in this upcoming NBA season. It's a prediction, and it's an interesting prediction to say the least as well, because I'm not just going to go through what the Chicago Bulls can do in this upcoming NBA season. We have to look at the other teams. We have to look at all of the other, I guess you could say, 15 teams in the East, and obviously the West is its own entity. We can leave the West alone and see where things go from there. It should be quite an interesting day, an interesting video, ladies and gentlemen. I've got a little bit of a different background today. I'm trying new things, so, bear with me. And we'll find things that we like. We did an AI background last time. We're doing some random background lights and a Elgato light this time. So, I feel like this is probably going to be the permanent thing, but every now and then I'm going to switch it up, Who doesn't love a little bit of an AI background every now and then? I still find it hilarious. And again, if I could create my own, yeah, I'm going to have some fun with this. I don't care what channel it's on. We're going to have a doozy. But enough about that. Let's talk about what you guys want to talk about today, and that is the Chicago Bulls. But before we get any further, if you like the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. And let me know in the comments below what you guys think about the Chicago Bulls, and I guess where do you think they'll be finishing? I mean, people have suggested we could finish in the playoffs, because the East has downgraded a lot, and I do feel like we're at least in the competition of being in a playoff push. Some people say we're going to be bad, like scrappy, but just bad. Some people will say we're a playing tournament team. Again, every single season we're a playing tournament team. So what do you guys think? The first thing I want to suggest before we look at every other team, I want to talk about what will make the Chicago Bulls hard to beat, why they'll be hard to beat next season. That's not to say that we won't lose, because I do think we'll lose quite a few games, but I want to talk about why we will be a difficult team to face each and every single game. The first thing is our style of play. And I love our style of play, ladies and gentlemen. It's a big transformation from 2 seasons ago to last season, and I think it's only going to add more fuel to the fire this season. The way that we play will be hard to stop. I think everybody can agree, when you play a fast tempo basketball and you space the floor and you're able to shoot the 3 ball at a high level, those are the 2 factors there offensively that is hard to beat. When you have all shooters around you and you just have to find the open shot and you're doing it at a fast rate, you run and kick and all these things, it's a difficult brand of basketball to stop. And that is the Bulls' identity at this point in time. We're a fast-paced team. We're running and kicking. We're pushing in transition. And we're taking loads of threes. When we knock down those threes, we're a difficult team to beat. When we don't knock down those threes, we could probably get steamrolled. So that's where I see the Chicago Bulls level at this point in time. Hard to beat because of that style of play. The second reason why I think the Bulls are going to be hard to beat is our improved defensive capabilities. I think our team is going to get better next season defensively. With guys like Isaac Okoro, Matas Buzelis taking an extra step, Patrick Williams hopefully, can show what he's all about. We've got a couple of good defensive bigs as well. Trey Jones, and those guys playing for a full season. Io coming back. I mean, I do feel like defensively we will be a little bit better. That's not to say we're going to be the best defensive team in the league, because our starting lineup is Josh Giddey and Coby White. As good of effort as they put on the defensive end, they are not known as great defenders. And defensively, we still have Nikola Vucevic on the team, which means rim protection is still not going to be a big priority for the Bulls. With that being said, you have to assume defensively we will get better, but we won't be amazing. And thirdly, the reason why I think will be hard to beat is hopefully the progression of certain players. Coby White hopefully needs to show what he's all about from the start of the season to the end of the season. Josh Giddey needs to show what he's all about from the start of the season to the end of the season. And we need to see improvements in those guys. Matas Buzelis, again, all the patience in the world for him, but he could take a big step next season. There's guys here that has a point to prove. Different rotations, different lineups. We will be a hard team to beat. But, ladies and gentlemen, it's the NBA. Almost every team is hard to beat. So now it's time to take a look at the Eastern Conference. Let's take a look at the landscape in the East and let's talk about who I think we have a chance to be better than and why we could be better than them. So I guess we could start off with the teams that we're probably not going to be, better than overall. We'll start off with teams like Cleveland. We are not going to be better than Cleveland, especially with the addition of Lonzo Ball. We're not going to be better than the New York Knicks. We're probably not going to be better than teams like the Orlando Magic and the Detroit Pistons. So that's at least 4 teams there. I mean, I think Detroit's only going to get better. Maybe they had a fluky season, but I think they're going to be better next season than this season past. The Knicks are going to be the Knicks. I still think they're going to be a good team. So, and Cleveland is easy. I mean, Cleveland, we all know Cleveland are going to be up there in the Eastern Conference again. But other than that, I feel like there is a lot to play for here. So I want to talk about teams that I think we could potentially have a better season than. And we're going to start off with the Boston Celtics. I know what you're thinking. Boston finished second in the Eastern Conference last season. And that is a fair statement to make. Yes, Jason Tatum getting hurt plays a factor in that. But all in all, ladies and gentlemen, I must say this about the Boston Celtics. One, they've transformed their team a lot over the offseason, and I don't think it's been for the better. And Jason Tatum will be out for the majority of next season, if not all of next season. So Boston are in a situation now where I feel like they're going to be scrapping to get into the playoffs rather than being a shoo-in for the playoffs. Now, the way that Boston play will still be hard to beat. We all know how Boston play, and it is, again, when they live and die by the 3 like that, when they're making those threes, again, good luck to the rest of the league. Even without Jason Tatum, that's a hard team to beat. But you never know. And I feel like that at least puts us in the conversation of having a very similar, if not better season than the Boston Celtics. And in that same vein, we need to talk about the Indiana Pacers. Tyrese Halliburton is probably going to be out most of next season as well. And with all that being said, I must admit, without Tyrese Halliburton, the Pacers won't be the same team. Now, the beautiful thing about the Pacers is they're very well-rounded. Even without Halliburton, they will continue to be a very well-rounded team. But now they don't have Miles Turner. And now you start to ask questions. Okay, they lost their best big man. They lost their point guard. This is not going to be an easy season for the Indiana Pacers. And it might take a season of hurt to get back to a season of success. So we might have to wait and see what Tyrese Halliburton does the season after this one to see where the Pacers level will be. It's crazy because they made the NBA Finals and now we're talking about them as having a rather bad season next season. I really don't know what to say. We'll see what the Pacers can do. The Milwaukee Bucks, I think we have a chance to be better than them too. Reason being, they don't have Brook Lopez anymore. And if you guys have watched how we lose to the Milwaukee Bucks, a lot of that has to do with Brook Lopez absolutely destroying us, whether it's from the rim protection side of things, whether it's from the 3-ball, whatever it is. They don't have Damian Lillard either. They did get Miles Turner, so that could be, again, a like-for-like replacement. You get rid of Brook Lopez, who's one of the best rim protectors in the league. You get Miles Turner, who's a little bit of a younger version, who can shoot the 3, rim protects, rebound, is a jack-of-all-trades type of guy. So, you know, they're going to be a good team next season, but I do feel like they're not going to be as good without a key point guard. All the pressure scoring-wise is going to go to Giannis. They don't have a second really great, phenomenal scorer like they did with Damian Lillard. And until they get that, I don't think they're going to be that good of a team compared to what they were last season. And last season, they weren't very good. So, yeah, I think the Bulls have a chance to be better than the Milwaukee Bucks. Keep in mind, these are teams that I think we have a chance. There's no guarantee we're going to be better than them. No guarantees whatsoever. In fact, it's still probably lesser of a chance that we will be better than teams like these guys. But you have to put them in the conversation. Speaking of, I think we could be better than Miami. And I know that will hurt because we always lose to Miami in the play-in tournament and whatnot. So you could say that all you like, but until it actually happens, it's just words at the end of the day. But no Jimmy Butler for the Miami Heat. Their team is... It's a typical Miami team, I would say. A team that probably you can't think of key, amazing superstars they've got on that team, but with the system and the culture they have in place, they always find a way to win games. And I think that's where they're going to be next season as well. I still think there's a chance we could be better than them. Atlanta gotten better. I like Atlanta. I like the look of their team. I like what they've done with their team, and I think they're definitely going to be going for it next season. And expect them to be on the rise and expect them to be in a playoff push. I don't actually think we're going to be better than Atlanta next season, but we'll wait and see. couple of other teams, I guess you could say. The team that I'm very concerned about that's going to be climbing over us in the Eastern Conference is the Philadelphia 76ers. They've obviously had that third overall pick. They've got Joel Embiid back. They've got Paul George hopefully in there somewhere. Maxey taking an extra leap. All those guys healthy. The 76ers should be better than the majority of the teams in the Eastern Conference. And then I think we have a chance to be better than everybody else. I think we have a chance to be better than the Raptors. We'll see what the Raptors can do. They're an interesting team. I think we'll be better than Brooklyn. I think we'll be better than the Hornets. We'll be better than the Wizards. So if you put that in a nutshell, teams that I think will definitely be better than us, the Cavs, so that's the first seed. I think the Knicks are going to be better than us. So that's the second seed. I think Detroit will be better than us, and I think the Magic will be better than us. So that's 4 teams right there that I think will be better than the Chicago Bulls. So no top 4 for the Bulls, in my opinion. In terms of things that could be close, I think Milwaukee would be close. But with Giannis in their team, they could be better than us. So let's just say the 5th seed's been taken. I think Atlanta will be close and the 76ers will be close. That's 7 already. The teams that I think could be close or better than the Chicago Bulls. Miami could be put in that conversation again. So that's the 8th seed already. Ladies and gentlemen, I hate to say it, but assuming we are close or better or even a little bit worse than those teams, I see the Chicago Bulls once again falling into the play-in tournament bracket. My only hope this time is that we fall into the play-in tournament bracket where we get a second chance. That's all I hope for, because the second chance means a lot. And I want the second chance. I don't want to be fighting from the 10th seed or the 9th seed into the 8th and 7th seeds and then making it to the playoffs, because it's a very hard battle. And clearly we're not very good at it because we never win those battles. But if you get into that 7th seed, for example, 1, you've had a better season than last, and I think that's very important for a young team. And 2, you have the double chance. That's what I want, and that's where I think we will finish, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to predict around the 7th or the 8th seed. And that's where we are. And to be honest, with the lack of moves we have made, we got Isaac Okoro on the team. We've not really done anything. Maybe Kuminga changes things, but if you're getting Kuminga in, you're losing a center. Therefore, you're losing Vucevic. You're losing a very key offensive guy. I don't necessarily think that changes us dramatically up or down. We're kind of in the same situation here, ladies and gentlemen. So it's hard to say, but I do feel like that's my answer. The 7th or the 8th seed is where I think we're going to finish. Probably could fall down to the 9th or 10th seed, but in a nutshell, we're in the same position we were last season, and that's where we deserve to be with the moves we've made. So what do you guys think? Do you think we can push for the 6th seed? It's not impossible. It's definitely not impossible. The East has gotten a little bit worse, but there are teams there that are behind us that I'm worried about, like Philly and Atlanta. I'm worried about those 2 teams and the steps they're about to take. And teams like Milwaukee and Miami and all these other teams out there that have big question marks on them still have the chance to be better than us. So I don't know. But I do think we'll be a harder team to beat. I think our style of play matches what the NBA has to offer today. If we can execute well, we have a good system around us, we'll be a tough team to beat each and every single night. That has to be the goal for this young, upcoming team. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.